Welcome to the Film Junket Podcast.
I'm missing out on the music, man.
You hearing it?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay.
I just have my own music.
Yeah, I'm bobbing my head to the music. What's happening, guys? Dave, the Film Junkie here. Welcome to the Film Junket Podcast. Appreciate you guys clicking in as always. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the feedback I got from last week's podcast with Mr. Stephen Colbert from Screen Rant. A lot of good feedback, sharing of ideas. A lot of people hitting me up in the DMs and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. But then I also had a lot of people going, "Hey, where's the Chris Dawson podcast that you promised us, man? Come on. That Black Suit edition's been out. That trailer's been out for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now." And yes, guys, you guys got to realize we got to coordinate stuff because this man is in the future. But yes, 2 weeks in a row, I have special guests on the podcast, and it's pretty awesome stuff. So here we go, guys. Welcome the madman himself doing the Lord's work to that Justice League movie, Mr. Chris Dawson. What's going on, Chris?
Nothing's going on, Dave. I've been working on this fucking thing all day.
You look tired.
I am tired. How are you getting on?
I'm doing all right. Like I said, sorry. I know it's been kind of hard to coordinate this because it's
okay.
You're 8 hours ahead. Well, where do you live again? You live in
Newcastle.
I forgot where?
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, if you've been to England, you know it. It's quite famous in England.
I love the beer. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's kind of famous for being a good night out. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen? Remember, Jersey Shore, don't you, in America?
Yeah.
We've got one called Geordie Shore, which is set in Newcastle.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
We've got kind of a bad reputation.
Did you guys come up with that first, or did we?
Oh no, we
that concept,
the American one.
Oh, okay. So you copied us. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's cool. One of these days when I make it over there. I've had my mom. She actually recently took a trip over to like Ireland, Scotland, and all that area right there, nice. And she loved it. And
that's the same area.
I don't know how. Yeah, it's pretty much the same area, right?
Yeah, come over, man.
That's cool.
Have a really terrible night out. No, it is good.
A lot of boozing.
Fun.
Yeah,
it's a very small city, so all the bars are condensed into a very small space.
Is it kind of like World's End? You just have a line of pubs.
No, nothing like that.
No, not like that. Yeah.
Newcastle's a city, a big city full of bars. That's what it is.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I got a college city like right over the hill here where I actually grew up, and there's just like a line of bars right there. It's nice to do bar hopping. I don't do it much anymore. That was more when I was in my 20s. Now it's like, let's just go to this one and then that one and then call it a night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just not
says,
boozing like I used to. But yeah, before we get into like the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty of what you did there, what do you do for a job? I've been wanting to ask you that.
I'm a copywriter.
You're a copywriter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been doing it for about 6, probably 7 years now. It's honestly one of the most boring things I could possibly talk about. So I never talk about that on.
Oh yeah, that's
Twitter
fine. I just was curious because with what we've seen, what you're doing, it's like, God, you should be working in some VFX, studio. You should be working for a studio.
Thank you very much.
Because what you do, is it just stuff that you just do for the shits and giggles,
Absolutely.
or something you want to do?
I mean, it's always been a hobby for me. Is with since I've had a laptop, it's 15 years or something. That I just like to get hold of as much software as I possibly can, learn new shit. Go on YouTube, watch tutorials, learn stuff, read stuff, whatever. And if I've got an idea of something I really want to do, then I'll just try and do it.
And what software are you using?
After Effects. I use Premiere Pro, obviously the media, all the
Good
Adobe
man.
stuff, and I use the GIMP. I don't know if you know the GIMP.
GIMP? No, I don't know what that is.
It's like a free version of Photoshop. And I use
Inkscape.
Okay. Inkscape's quite cool. It's all vector drawings and stuff for graphic design. I used to do things like logos, freelance, that kind of thing. So you can draw things and animate things a little bit and come up with some stuff that I couldn't necessarily come up with just by using what Joss gave us.
Nice. Yeah, Photoshop is not one that I've like really mastered. I mean, I could do like the basic stuff. I can remove backgrounds. I could do little things like that, but I never really delved deep in that. But I'm like you. I use Adobe Premiere for my editing. A lot of people always wonder like, what do you use? What do you use? I'm like, yeah, Adobe Premiere is the way to go. I mean, I have no complaints. I've been using it for years. I mean, I try to use iMovie, but I don't like iMovie.
That's shit.
Yeah, it's absolute shit. The only way it's good, I'll like rip some music that they have or some sound effects they have stored in their library. That's about it. Or my opening, for Film Junkie where it shows like the film strip and it, that's from iMovie just because they have that trailer stuff. And I thought, okay, I'll just do that. Put some music that I pulled from GarageBand and just kind of just put my logo right in there. So I did use it for that, but for
Well,
editing,
maybe I'll do
get the fuck.
I'll do a Film Junkie.
There you go.
Good
Hey.
intro. 2.5
so
hour intro.
After Effects. Are you pretty good with After Effects?
I like to think so. I'm still learning.
Well, no, I think you're pure shit, man. After what I saw, no,
it's,
no, what have you done with that trailer? I've used After Effects when I was doing Android stuff. I used to do some After Effects with that lightning stuff, and then one time I did the lightsaber thing. Of course, I did like you. I just went online, taught myself how to do the lightsaber effect, and holy shit, it took me about 12 hours total just to do about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
It is so, frame by frame, tedious.
Actually, the
Tedious.
lightsaber thing. Some of the stuff that you've seen in the trailers and things, especially from the big power demon gun, the laser blasts and things like that. That's pretty much a similar.
Omega beams.
Yeah, well, the Omega beams as well. Yeah, it's a similar
Yeah.
effect to making a lightsaber. And there's a really cool plugin, Video Copilot is one of these sites where. They have a lot of freebies and stuff, and the stuff that I bought some stuff off there, some freebies. But they've got a freebie, a plugin, if anyone's uses After Effects. It's called Saber.
Okay.
It's kind of made for lightsabers and for laser blasts and shit.
Okay,
It's
yeah, because I
really
know,
cool
I
stuff.
remember when I was researching that, there was a lot of people that were giving away like little plugins or little, things that were already mixed, and hey, you could just tweak it right here for your well-being or whatever the heck. But yeah, Warner Brothers needs to hire you because fucking shit, man. How long have you been working on this thing?
A year?
A year. And when did you come up with the idea to just do a black suit edition? It's like, what were you thinking? What were you doing? Were you drinking heavily? What's going on?
I think, quite possibly. I think...
That's when my good ideas come out.
my experience with Justice League when it came out was, I think, the same as yours. And
Yeah.
I'm a Tyrone Magnus, his review. I watched his review. He came in, yes, love that fucking movie. And then about 2 days later, coming in saying, I'm gonna have to change my score.
Yeah.
That's
When
exactly
the buzz-
what happened to me. I came out
buzz
the cinema
just wore
going,
down,
yes,
yeah.
fucking, I saw the Justice League, and then texted a friend saying that is fucking amazing. And then by the time I got out the cinema, I texted him again saying, nah. Something's wrong.
It was a weird experience for everybody. It just kind of shows you the way that fandom can be is like you're so hyped up for a movie, you built it up in your head, and then you see something and you want to just be so excited. You want it to be the greatest thing ever. And I just remember, walking out of the Warner Brothers lot, like I've said many times, and just feeling like I got punched in the gut. Just walking back to the car, I turned back to the guy that I was talking to before, and I just was like, man, they Snydered the shit out of that movie, didn't they? And then, of course, wanting, like, what do I say? People are anxiously waiting my reaction, And I didn't know what to say. I mean, I like I was telling Steven last week, I sat in my car for about 5-10 minutes and just went, what do I say? Because there's a lot wrong here, and it just felt, sickening. And then go to the premiere afterwards. I didn't get inside the premiere, but I saw all the actors, file in, and I'm just going, holy shit, have these guys seen this yet? Yeah. Especially to see Cavill, I'm like, dude, your face is fucked up, like right at the beginning, dude.
That was,
that
scene, like, even if his face had looked perfect, even if he'd looked like
it was still,
Man of Steel, it was a fucking shit scene. It was the worst scene I could possibly imagine the movie opening with. And when it did, I thought, that was the first time I thought, would Zack Snyder do that? That's not a Zack Snyder. And I mean, I was the whole lead up to the movie probably about 3, maybe more than 4 months. I was watching your YouTube videos when I kind of found your channel, and I was with you thinking people are getting really carried away with the Joss Whedon reshoots. Danny Elfman, who cares? He's probably going to do something quite good. I think we all just in denial.
Tim, we were cheated.
Really cheated.
We were. I mean,
Cheated by
that's
the trailers
what's
as
so.
well, to be fair.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. Well, and what I was told, the reason why we saw the beautiful footage in those trailers is because Snyder's footage looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Whedon's footage didn't. You're talking about 6 months, and then to inject visual effects in 6 months. I mean, you know what that's like. I mean, that's why anytime we saw a trailer, we saw nothing but Snyder footage. I don't think we even really saw any Whedon footage in that last trailer, that beautiful Heroes trailer.
Yeah.
And we're just we're like, there's no way that these guys are gonna try to reshoot this movie in 6 months. And then we're I'm defending it. A lot of people are defending it and saying fuck you Batman on film, fuck you Batman news, that are trying to report Morrow Rebles, you suck, and then just to see it and go, holy shit, those guys were right.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of just went, okay, maybe I should try to change the way I kind of think and talk about certain things, because maybe I should just kind of bring everything in and just kind of not react to it so much like a fan, but try to be a little more.
What was the
I guess, on the professional
what was the audience
side.
like when you saw it? Because you saw it before release.
Well, I saw it. It was mainly it was just people that got a press pass. It was people with press. Actually, the Collider guys. Some of the Collider guys were there. I only recognized Christian Harloff. I almost walked up to him. I should have, and asked him, like, what the fuck did you think about that, man? But I didn't walk up. I was just kind of like, I was just trying to process what I saw. But, it wasn't anything like, fans or anything. There was a girl that was sitting next to me. She had a notepad out, and she was writing stuff down during the whole thing. So it was just it was just people that worked, that journalists or critics or whatever. So, but when I saw it, a couple days later with my friends. And, first off, one of my friends, she's a diehard Cavill fan. She thinks he's, like, the most prettiest man in the world. Well, and the first thing of course, and I totally concur with that. But the first thing she asked me, too, that night, how did his face look? Could you tell? And I went, and I just I think I just texted her back, like, 3 dots. And she went, oh, no.
I don't know if you remember, Dave, there was when the review embargo was lifted. Every review was positive. Everyone was saying it's a blast. Except for one guy. There was one guy, and I can't remember who he was, and he said it wasn't great, and Henry Cavill's lip was distracting or something like that, and everyone pounced on him. All the DC straight on him, like fuck you, and I thought what a dick as well. I think everyone did.
Yeah.
And then saw the movie, and I was like shit.
He was right.
That scene in the farm. There's nothing I can do with that. But I mean, I know a lot of people are very, very flattering about what I'm doing and thinking I can work miracles. But some things
you can't do.
A super close up on his face standing in the farm. I can't do anything about that. I can do a little bit of tweaking, add some film or something. But...
Well, anything, a little bit of tweak is fine. Anything's better than that.
Well, some places I have actually changed his jawline.
Have you?
Yeah.
Hey, see, there you go.
Well,
see, you're doing the Lord's work.
The way they took out his jawline is bizarre. Weird.
Yeah, it's very strange too, because even with that farm scene, like when he says like I guess that's a yes, and his face looks perfectly fine, of course, and then when it starts getting the close up, and then it's so apparently obvious that they're on a soundstage in front of a green screen. Lois is Amy Adams is totally wearing a wig at this point, and then it almost looks like he's wearing a wig, like his hairline even looks a little weird. And I thought, was he wearing a wig too? Did they graft like his face on someone else's body or something? I remember I almost bought into that conspiracy theory because somebody said they totally just grafted his face on somebody else's body. Look at the hairline, look at this. And I was almost buying into that because even it did look like he was wearing a wig. It's so odd.
If you want me to go a step further on that one, Dave, this is if you
I do.
Yeah. If you get a copy of the film, the copy that I'm working with, I've got a few, but with the surround sound mix, and you isolate the audio, the center audio channel, which is what you're going to get with all the dialogue, main special effects. When he appears and says, "Well, I believe in truth," all that shit. If you listen to that carefully, that sounds absolutely fucking nothing like Henry Cavill. It sounds like they've modulated his voice down about probably 4 semitones, maybe a bit more.
Really?
It's bizarre. And I thought, did they not have him? But then you see his face and he says, "Big fan of Justice." Maybe they just play with it, tweaked it a little bit to make it a bit more cheery or something. I don't know. But
yeah, or just put a little more bass into it to sound just a little more. I'm a boofer. Yeah,
it sounds weird, man. It's too low for him. It's too low.
Yeah, it does sound. Now that I think about it, because I've made fun of that part. I even think I remember when when they actually did somebody released like the actual footage of him with the mustache. And then I did a video about that. I did play that over and over again to like kind of sync it. And you're right. It does sound like a little bit like bassier, a little bit thicker than normal. So yeah, jeez, man. One of these days, and I don't know, one of us, maybe we'll all put our heads together. We're just gonna freaking do a documentary on the bullshit that happened. Hey, we're actually, some of us are talking about doing that. I mean, we got Steven like just constantly collecting information because that's what he does best. And I've been collecting stuff, talking to my guy. Of course, I don't want to say source anymore because that's like a 4-letter word now. People fucking hate that word now. But, just the information I've gotten from that guy. And, I know, it's gotten ridiculous with all that stuff. But, one of these days we just want to just put it all together and maybe get an interview with people. I mean, we're already starting to get interviews with people. Steven got Nick McKinless, who played Ares in the history lesson. And it's so funny because even in my video that I posted last night, I think the history lesson we all agreed was like the least dicked with, but turns out it wasn't. Because everybody thought like, oh, that was 100% Snyder. That was all Snyder. Look at those beautiful shots. Yes, but it was supposed to be a lot longer, and it was not even supposed to be Steppenwolf.
Yeah. It was in the wrong order as well, which was strange.
Yeah.
It was all cut up and the ship's land. He slams the axe into the ground, the ship's land, and then it cuts back to something else, and the ship's land again. Then they take off, then they land again. And
it's very odd. Very oddly edited. And speaking of Darkseid, I noticed you used the infamous footage of I think that's from Injustice 2 or whatever, where Darkseid is putting on his armor. But then you did you kind of, there was like when it came to the voice, what made you choose the voice for Darkseid? Is it? I know that's probably Alfred's voice in BVS, right? And you just kind of tweaked it.
No,
like that's how it starts, or is that you?
No, that's Benjamin Laws. My man.
Oh, okay.
He was someone who was very supportive from the start of the thing, and on his Twitter bio it says part-time voice actor. So I thought, that's cool.
So that was him.
When I did start to think about bringing people in, I went straight to him, and he's done stuff in the Mass Effect games and things like that. So he's got some good experience with it, and he's got a really high quality recording setup, and all this kind of stuff. And he is, I have to tell you, he's extremely professional, really nice guy, unbelievably professional, really committed to getting it right. And he sends me, I'll say, can you read these lines, and we'll just get a take. And he sends me about 10 takes with different inflections and stuff.
So he knows how to do it, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know that the voice has been a little bit divisive so far. He messaged me after the trailer came out saying, "I'm not happy with this, blah blah," and I wasn't happy with it. And it's partly down to me because I didn't get the audio mix right. But it will be right. It will be 100% right. I guarantee that. It will be.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it does sound kind of like it reminds me of that old speak and spell computer. That kind of thing. So yeah, it did kind of have that. But yeah, I can understand you're gonna tweak it a little bit. That's fine. But when it came to I think one of my, let's see, I'm kind of going through it right here. I have it up on my screen. What was I going to ask you? So you got Darkseid. Okay, first off, the Clark Joseph Kent tombstone splitting. That is awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I like doing that. Yeah, I'm not going to give you spoilers, don't you? I'm not going to spoil the movie. That's
no. I'm not saying I'm not going to try to get spoilers. Come on, we'll wait till the mics are not on.
Yeah,
but
right.
Secretly they will be on. No, it's just what's so crazy, and me and Steven were actually talking about it too. Is like you have all these shots. For instance, the Clark Kent tombstone cracking, and it almost seems like when especially when somebody makes a fan trailer and injects shots, it's like they only do it for the trailer, but you actually are doing this to the whole entire movie. That's where that's what everybody has to be reminded of. Like, this is not just going to be a trailer. You're doing it to the entire movie.
Yeah.
And that's just, you're nuts. You're nuts.
Well, yeah, maybe. If it was for the trailer, if I was doing these things for a trailer, you would have seen, well, the trailer that I just put out last week wouldn't have any of the stuff that was in it. It would have completely different stuff because
of course,
the big stuff I've probably shown. I think there's about 0.4 seconds in that trailer, which no one's noticed, by the way.
Oh. Of secrets in the trailer.
Yeah, there's always secrets in the trailers. No one ever sees the secrets that I've
yes, because they're so quick. Like you said, 0.04 seconds.
There is little things, but like I've said on Twitter, there's a completely new final battle.
Yeah, you talked about that. And I mean, obviously, with the end of the trailer, you have all of them standing there, and of course, you like beautifully put in Superman looking as He With You from BVS. You put it in here, it almost looks just spot on. It looks flawless because Wonder Woman is clear. Everybody else has kind of got, the focus is on her, so he's blurred, and so is Flash, and it's just, I don't know how you're doing it.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And then, of course, you have that.
That's what it is.
Yes, I
shout out
to
Andrew List, A-List Productions. He helped with he's been helping out with some rotoscoping. And that Superman, I sent him a message about a week before the trailer came out, and I said, listen, I desperately need this Superman turn into Wonder Woman thing. So can you get me Superman out of that shot? I sent him the shot stabilized. He managed to start the mask, get most of the mask done, then I came in and polished it up. So a lot of that's thanks to him. So shout out to him for that one. But
awesome.
yeah, it was just a case of putting some camera blur on Wonder Woman, doing the sky, getting the skin tones right, all that kind of stuff. Which is all just it's just
get rid of all
tedious.
that purple.
Oh, I know, yeah. God.
That ugliness.
Jesus. Those tentacle. People keep asking me things that are. Some people. Thing is, right, on Twitter, people either think that I'm just going to make the movie and change the suit to black, or they think that I can do something which is completely ridiculous, like get rid of all the. I can't get rid of all the tentacles.
No, there's no
way. I can change them to
I
black,
wouldn't think you could do that.
Hide them in the background and blur them or whatever. But there's a lot of forget about the tentacles. They'll be there somewhere. You don't need to focus on the tentacles. There's other things going on. You will need to see. And it's like I've said before. Don't worry too much about Steppenwolf. He's not that much of a threat. Get him out the way. Put it this way: the way that the story is going to go in this is different. Very, very different to how the story goes in Justice League. That's otherwise it wouldn't be any fun. It wouldn't be any fun if it was the same story. So basically think of it as being something that's mirrors in some way Batman v Superman, Man of Steel. The whole thing is to try and make it the third part, the conclusion of a trilogy. That's my whole that's what I want to do. So the final battle from Justice League that we've seen is kind of a little bit like Batman fighting Superman in Batman v Superman, because after that shit gets fucking scary and shit, doesn't it? Things kick off. So, but in the show Doomsday and those trailers, I'm not going to show my thing in these trailers. So there's stuff.
Man, you're giving me a tingle in my jingle, man. Jeez.
There you go. But so, yeah,
and just to remind everybody, it's going to be coming out August 30th?
August 30th. That is the date we've set. So
yeah.
I really hope, and if I can't make that date, I'll tell everyone well in advance. But
we're all gonna dogpile on your Twitter, man.
Well,
and be like, what the fuck, man, lazy ass. We're all just gonna give you shit about it.
I mean, I'll know in August. But thing is, I'm gonna say something here, which is about the little release schedule kind of thing, because as much as I want to get it out exactly on the 30th of August, it's not going to be totally guaranteed. What I want to do is put out a clip. It's nearly June. I'm going to put out one clip in June, one clip in July, and a clip in August, and then the film at the end of August, hopefully. And I do have the clips in mind. So I think this month, June, maybe in a couple of weeks, I do want to put out Cyborg's First Flight with some new music by Jovaldo, who's also amazing, by the way. And then the next one will probably be Superman getting his suit. And there's a lot more to that than you think in the moment. And then his first flight. There is explanation. I've tried to keep quiet on a lot of stuff, but I know. I get it. A lot of people do ask occasionally.
I'm trying to get it out of you.
You can. I mean, I'm not talking about most things. Okay. Most things aren't like huge spoilers. They're just cool things that people haven't seen yet. But the thing about Superman getting his suit is that people have asked, why does he wear the black suit? Why would he wear the black suit? Is there a reason? Yes, it does stuff. It does stuff. You'll see it does stuff. But when it's explained...
Well, I mean, if they know the books, there's a reason why he's wearing that suit.
Well, that absorbs sunlight, yeah. I mean, solar radiation, so... But there is some exposition there.
Okay.
And it works. You'll see it works. Shout out to Adrienne. I can't really say too much about that. Well, I couldn't say much more. I don't want to spoil everything for everyone. But
now,
great people. She's done amazing things with her vocal performance as well. She's unbelievably supportive of the curse. Unbelievable. I mean, she tries to get people to give me money. I don't want people to give me money. I can't stand asking for money.
Because
I'd
you know why?
People,
you know why? Because I mean, when I did my reaction, man, that video of mine blew up.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? And then it was like, I look and it just keeps going and going and going, and I'm like, damn. And I was like, well, if generate anything on this, I'm gonna give it over some to Chris
I
over
appreciate
here.
that, but generally, I don't like asking for money. That's not what it's for. It's just for people to enjoy. But if people want to give me money, they can give me money. It's fine. Whatever.
I'll send you over something. Don't worry. Because I was just like, wow. I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's, I think my video is at like almost 130,000 views. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, of course, when it comes, I think when people hear that, they went, oh my God, you must be making 1,000. No, that's not how YouTube works. It's pennies and pennies and pennies. I mean, it's like if any revenue is generated, it's gonna be like a little over $100. And like I said, I'm willing to just send you over a chunk of that because that's your hard work. Yeah. So. My
videos on YouTube do have adverts on, but I think
Did you get
those? I didn't choose to do that. No.
Okay.
I think who gets the money from them.
Oh yeah, because I'm waiting for like Warner Brothers to flag it. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't already because, there is actually copyrighted footage-ish. But I mean, I think you've done so well with changing so much that it's just it's slipping right through their filters. I don't know.
Well, my videos they monetize my videos.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is fine. They own the IP and the footage.
That's true.
Prerogative. And
I'm waiting for that to happen to mine.
I don't want any legal bollocks going on about the. Honestly, I don't get let's just say that everyone who's bought the Blu-ray or something gets to watch my edit.
There you
go. Is
go.
that how it works? I think that's how it works. That's fine. So say that.
Now I got a question about the black suit. Was it difficult to turn his suit black and silver, or was it fairly easy?
It was difficult.
Was it?
Yeah, difficult. That is more difficult than some of the more out there things.
Really?
But only because I knew straight away that I wanted when Henry Cavill posted a picture, didn't he, of the black suit, and we've seen the one behind the deleted scene. It does have to cut out central parts in between the curves of the S.
Oh, and the S.
Is black. It's a black suit underneath, rather than being a whole silver S. So I needed to cut those, and that is a very tricky thing because the suit that he actually wears, first of all, it's very shiny, as you know. The suit they use for Justice League is shiny. They've got these weird plates underneath it, make it look. I don't know why they did that, to be honest.
Oh God, especially in that opening scene where you can it's during daylight. You can see the plates. You could see the pads.
It's supposed to be in the past.
Yes, exactly. What the fuck were they thinking? Anyways, sorry. We could keep going back to that.
But it was difficult, but it's fun. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Because getting the shield to shine is very difficult.
Yeah. The reason why I asked is because, what I was told by my guy was basically that Snyder, they went back and forth with debating on using the black suit in Justice League. And, of course, obviously they went forward with just using the regular suit. Warner Brothers didn't want them to use the black suit. But apparently, according to him, he said that they shot it in a way where in post they could change it to black and silver if they decided to change their minds again. Of course, this is like a big time studio, big VFX studios. They could probably just work their magic pretty easily. So that's why I asked.
Well, on a green screen, it's very easy to do. Oh,
okay.
I mean, some of this isn't going to be a huge surprise to anyone, but some of the shots that are not in the movie that you've seen in the trailers and things. My trailers, the two trailers. Yeah. Like Wonder Woman, I don't know if you noticed in the new one, there's Wonder Woman, she slams the gauntlet on the shield, and then there's a different shot which you haven't seen.
Yeah.
That's from behind the scenes footage against green
Yes,
screen.
you did do that. Okay, I was wondering because the angle didn't look the same
it's a
because it
different
was
angle,
more angled this way, not like dead on. Yeah, that was cool. And then of course you added the shot of her like sharpening her sword. That's a
from the
beautiful
movie.
shot.
That's from the movie.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes of them on green screens, particularly Henry Cavill just standing there looking up at stuff against a green
That's right,
screen.
you got all that.
And that's the
you're
shot.
just-
This isn't a spoiler. There's one shot that was going to be the big money shot at the end of the trailer, which was the League looking up into the boom tube. A boom tube.
Ooh,
You've seen
guys.
that. You've seen that
Yes.
shot.
I figured you're gonna do something like that. So
Yeah.
you're just trying to rip anything that you can from any footage that you can just to utilize, huh?
Yeah, and that
That's
was nearly
awesome.
done, but that's just a very, 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 very complicated
Oh, I'm sure.
shot in particular. But it's pretty much done. It just didn't quite get done in time for the trailer. So I used the Justice League, the animated style thing instead, which I know
Yeah.
everyone loves, which is good.
Oh, that ending shot is my favorite shot
That-
of the whole flick. When you posted that on your Twitter, just the still shot, I was like, "Oh my god, that is beautiful. That should be hung up somewhere in some, and at the Pasadena Art Center."
love
Jesus
it.
Christ. Yeah, I mean, I think besides that shot, I think my second favorite shot was actually when Superman is going from Metropolis to Gotham City at night on the water. I don't know how you did that. I mean, obviously you pulled that from Man of Steel, and then somehow I don't know how you did that, but that was just like a whole bunch of shit that works.
Well,
That's all I
when
gotta
it comes
say.
to actually finding ways of doing these things, watching Man of Steel in super, super slow motion, frame by frame, is a pretty good way of learning things. It's a bit
Is
like,
it?
I mean, I used to study music, and they always taught us when we were learning to play jazz and things, taught us the best way to learn is to listen. Just listen
Sure.
to what other people are doing, and then you'll know, kind of thing. And that's the same with this as I find that I just go into programs frame by frame and just look. You can see very clearly, especially Man of Steel, which uses tons and tons of tricks to make things look better. And it looks amazing. Like Man of Steel is probably, for me, the best looking movie. I can't think of a better looking movie. Maybe Apocalypse Now or something. But Man of Steel, it's a beautiful movie. And
What? No Marvel movies for you? Or?
Oh, come on. The Marvel movies look. I can't. You know what? I can't remember a Marvel movie where I thought it looks good, but I'm sure there has been. I'm sure there has been movies that I've thought.
Well, did you see that? Did you see that video I posted last night where I get these guys? I forgot what they're called. I should have pulled up their channel, but it's. I mean, you just type it in. It says actual VFX artists react to bad CGI or bad or good, and they did a Marvel version, and it's very nice to get their perspective because they break it down. They're very interesting. They've done it for a ton of videos. It's like a new segment they're doing. And I guess they're just going to keep on doing it. But they did one for Marvel, and they really complimented what they did with Thanos just because there's so much detail. But they also talk about little tricks too. Like when it's close up, you really got to show the shadow. You got to show every little stretch of the pore, this, that, and this. But it's far away. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's just wasted time.
Yeah.
And I hope they end up doing Snyder movies. I hope they actually do a segment where they do Snyder movies because there's just something about his movies where it just. I think I always said that when he shoots a lot of things that Snyder does, it's either at night or like dusk.
Yeah.
There's like some low light, and of course people go, "Oh yeah, it's Snyder filter." I'm like, no, that makes everything pop. That thing makes everything look a lot more crisp to me. I don't know what you think about that. You probably feel the same. Yeah.
I mean, I saw John Garza talking about this a while ago about Snyder making his movies on what would be considered quite a reasonable budget for what they are. Big, giant... And it's absolutely clear. I mean, the fact that I can actually make stuff on After Effects that works in that style tells you that the techniques he uses and the people who work with him, because the guy who does his colour grading, I've read a really good interview with him, which I shared a while ago, about how they get that Snyder look, which is a pretty cool interview. But there's a lot of tricks to do with the glare and the flare and how he uses light. They're almost like illusions. They're almost like illusions because a lot of the time you'll think you're seeing something that isn't actually there. It's very hard. It's quite hard to describe that, but sometimes there'll be an explosion, and you'll think about the explosion. Say, I remember that, that shot where something exploded, and then if you watch it in slow motion, frame by frame, you don't see a fucking explosion. You just see a
Really?
blast of light at the camera, and that's pretty easy to
So
do.
it's just little
for the most
tricks,
part, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So, and you see
Oh, man.
that shot in Man
Yeah.
of Steel, that beautiful panoramic. Jor-El walks out onto the ledge and looks out
Yeah.
across Krypton, and there's fucking explosions going off everywhere. If you watch that in your mind's eye, you're thinking you can see things flying around and explosions. If you watch it again, there's probably a few frames where you actually see stuff, and the rest is lens flares.
Just
and-
lights.
But it does it so perfectly,
Wow.
and it's so crisp that it just works. It
See,
just works. Zack Snyder's explosions are a very specific style of explosions, and a lot of people are copying that now. Games now, a lot of video games now. I was watching someone playing, what was it? It was one of the new kind of Destiny or something like that. And you know, I've played quite a lot of video games and seen a lot of video game explosions. And they've seemed to have noticed now that the brighter the explosion is, the more real it looks. And if you play a
That's
video game now,
crazy.
you'll
I
see
never really thought about
lens
that.
flares all over the place and dust flying at the screen and at the camera and stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I found that with, a lot of the explosions I use, I've just got I've got an external hard drive, tons and tons and tons of anything I could find online that was free or something that I could just get a hold of somehow, or from other movies, just cut things out, key them out and things. And then explosions, sometimes, a lot of the time when you see a fan edit or something, or a fan film, you'll see explosions really look pretty crap. That's just the way it
crappy.
is.
Yeah, they
Crappy
look fake
because-
as shit. Yeah.
Fake, because usually they don't use the light properly. The light of an explosion is pretty bright, and it affects everything in its immediate area, and affects the camera lens, and affects people standing nearby and what have you. So all you need to do really is take one of those explosions, make it ultra bright, make it do something to what's around it, get some debris flying around it and smoke, and then suddenly you're nearly in kind of a Snyder territory of how he uses his explosions, which is a lot more effective.
This is what James Cameron's talking about, man. I mean, he's created his cinematic language, and like you said, using little
absolutely.
tricks, utilizing your budget, because obviously, I don't even know what Man of Steel's budget was, but it's not as
100 or
high as, of
something.
course, BVS or Justice League or probably even Wonder Woman or definitely not Aquaman. But just to the fact that him and his guys, and he always uses the same guys for his movies, especially VFX for sure. And I mean, they just created their own language, like you're saying. I mean, I would have never thought that, to watch it like frame by frame, to notice that it's just adding just that little trickery of light, or just a flare like that, would just make these explosions just pop like they do.
It's not just
That's
explosions; it's everything.
Yeah.
Even just shots of someone just standing in Man of Steel. Any shot of the Kryptonians on that. I was going to say the World Engine. It's not. Is it the World Engine? The ship that contains the World Engine.
Yeah.
They're not just static. Anything that's just like a static shot in a Zack Snyder film has got something going on in terms of
It
the
does.
light, how the light works. It casts these. I mean, someone
you
pointed
can
out the
even
idea Zod's shadow looks like Darkseid, which is pretty cool. It's not really. It's like.
Oh yeah.
But
Somebody
that's
posted
only
that. Everyone's
because
like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's only
Yeah.
because the shadow looks so fucking cool, because he's got the
Yes.
sun behind it, and the sun, if you'll notice, this is the thing, right? And this is exactly what I was talking about with the explosions. The sun, if you want to put the sun in a scene, in a movie, in a shot, you'd probably be scrambling around trying to get a really good shot of the sun, trying to find a shot of the sun that looks real. If you look at the sun in that shot, it looks perfect. And if you actually stop and take a look at it, it's not. It's just a fucking really bright light. That's all it is.
That's
It's just
all
a
it
really
is.
bright light, casting light right into the camera lens, and you don't need to do any more than that sometimes. Maybe they did get a really perfect shot of the sun, but it doesn't look like that to me. It looks like they've just used
No,
light
probably not.
correctly.
Yeah.
In a way that is an illusion. Filmmaking is an illusion, isn't it? Think about it.
The guy's a madman. I mean, you can even see that with the behind the scenes with Flash. It seems like anytime Flash stops, you see flickers, on the soundstage, just to add to that. They could just easily just add it in post if they wanted to, but no, you got to get the surface reflections and everything. So it's just little details like that. Yeah, because especially on that shot when they're on that bridge, Ezra Miller just does this little Flash stop thing, and you see just like that, and obviously it's just when they're going to add the lightning, it's going to pop, and obviously from the shots that we have seen, they do pop, and
That's
man.
pretty cool. They do. I've noticed that with all of the behind the scenes footage that Flash is involved in. There's just strobe lights.
Always like little strobe lights that are going off, and it's like, there you go. See, that's
the only
that's
bad
how
thing
you
with
do it
that
right
is that
there.
shot. I said there's a shot, the big shot of them looking up at the boom tube.
Yeah.
That I really wanted to get done in time. Didn't get done in time. But unfortunately, the only bad thing with that shot is that there are big, fat lights sitting around on the.
Oh yeah. It must have been really hard to get rid of those.
Yeah, and there's lights in the background flashing, and yeah, it's quite difficult to get rid of those because it's a different. It changes the green screen and stuff, and yeah, it makes the thing a little bit different. That's what makes it so difficult. But that shot's done now. It looks pretty cool. I'll probably put that out as a GIF, to be honest with you. I mean, shout out also to Ramesh De Silva, who's he's amazing. He's
been doing some really good. I mean, he's always done good fan art or whatever. And then I know he's been doing a lot of the poster stuff. I like his design that he had for Release the Snyder Cut Comic-Con campaign. I know recently he just did the Wanted posters, which look pretty cool.
Yeah,
and,
I like that. I think some people didn't seem to. I don't know. That saw it come out yesterday, and straight away I thought that's really cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually thought that was unique. Yeah, it was definitely unique. And of course, they had that video from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Dr. Chris.
People are gonna. That's right. Yeah, and if people gonna post those around, post them around. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be interesting stuff.
You know what happened with? You remember when that book, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Stieg Larsson book?
Yeah.
You know he died before it became popular, and he sent all of his books to this publisher in London, and no one gave a shit about these books.
Yeah.
But this publisher loved them so. This person loved them so much that what they did was went around London, leaving the books on public transport, leaving them on tubes and fucking buses and shit. So that loads of people started picking up these books randomly, lying around, and then talking to each other, saying, "What the fuck's this book?" And it became one of the first really viral phenomenon. Yeah, that kind of thing really does work. It does work, and especially if they're going to do it in Comic-Con and stuff and get people's interest. I think that's brilliant. I think that's good. I think it's better than. I don't know, the
calling.
I really hate, but the calling thing's fine. I mean, I think that's done.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, the calling of Warner Brothers, it was good at first because at first they didn't know what the hell, and then all of a sudden it went from we don't know what you're talking about to hey, we know that you're wanting that, and we can't say anything till this, that, and this. It was just the fact that people kept calling and was like, hey, all right, time to cut that out, guys. You're just beating a dead horse. The letter writing, cool. I mean, everything has made an impact when it comes to all that stuff. And, when it comes to the brochures and these wanted posters, that's fine. I think the wanted posters will be a hit at Comic-Con because it's so uniquely designed, It's an old-style, Old West wanted poster.
Yeah.
I think that'll actually work pretty well. And, I'm hoping to do something at Comic-Con, too. I'm still kind of working on it, just mainly, my whole thing, that we've decided, I don't want to say on my side because it's just stupid, but we're just trying to get the numbers, see how much, because it's not just the people that are part of the movement that want to see the movie. There are curious parties everywhere. I talk to people all the time that, let's say, Justice League sucked. I can't believe they did that to Cavill's face. I'm like, yeah, would you be willing to watch a 3.5-hour version of it that's completely different and his face is completely intact? They go, yes. I'm like, what if it's not finished? I don't care. It's probably better than that piece of shit that we got. They're willing to watch if there's previs shots like in between some of this stuff, but most of the visual effect, it's still going to be better than what we got.
Do you find that when you talk to people in real life, in the real world, and they'll say something, you'll say, oh yeah, wasn't it shit how Zack Snyder was really fucked over, and they'll say, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
Because when you're back in the real world, outside of our Twitter community, no one knows anything about this shit, really.
Exactly. I mean, and then I'll tell them, about it. I'm like, oh, well, Zack Snyder is this person. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, his movie, I like BVS, I like Man of Steel. I'll get a lot of that, and then I'll tell them what happened, a little bit what happened. I'll just, even when at a family gathering or something like that, and I even told people, oh yeah, I met the man, this, that, and this. I told them about the poster and how he circled it and how he's kind of like, dropping little things here and there, and they just think, they actually think that's really cool.
It is cool.
They're like, wow, okay, yeah, and I mean, to meet the man, I mean, geez, I wish I would have just flat out said, hey, what's going on with this or that and this, and
that thing with the questions at the.
We don't talk about that. No. Yeah, we were all pretty, especially one of the Comics Marks guys, because we were standing in line together. He was super pissed about it. He couldn't believe it, and I mean, I think some of the people, I think Damon Caro, if I'm saying his name right, I think he really wanted everybody to talk about it, because when it kind of casually got brought up, and say we got screwed out of the movie. He was like one of those people that said he looked out and went, "Yep," because he knows a lot of what happened behind the scenes. I mean, all the people on stage, I think maybe Larry Fong didn't know as much. I mean, he probably did. He probably heard, but I think Caro and I think they really they probably saw a lot of things because design changes and just. I don't know.
It's Fabian Wagner, wasn't it, who did the...
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's right, because Fong wasn't even... Yeah, he wasn't the cinematographer.
But people like him, Wagner, and anyone who was involved from concept art all the way through to VFX and post-production, they all screwed as well. It wasn't just Zach who was screwed. It was everyone.
A lot of people were screwed.
Everyone. I mean... That's what people do. Get some of these people on Twitter who drop a lot of hate come in every day now. There seems to be a new person who's just... People in the film industry, which I really do, people like some of the journalists and things who say stuff. I think who cares? Who gives a shit? It's just some everything. But when it's someone in the film industry like that, the guy Peter Ramsey, guy who directed Spider-Verse, or was involved in Spider-Verse, these kind of guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What the fuck? Why are you piping up about someone else's movie?
Work.
Surely you should be.
Yeah.
You should care about people. You shouldn't be caring about studios and how much money they're making. No one gives a shit about studios and money. You should care about the artists. That's what you should care about. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. Just fucking help them get their movie going. That's the main thing. And some of these people, I don't know if maybe he's had a bad history with Zach or something. Who knows?
I doubt that. I've not heard one person say like really bad things about Zach. It seems like everybody who works with Zach is always complimenting. Oh, he creates a great environment. Oh, yeah. He's always very energetic. He's always making sure everybody's like healthy, like properly fed and healthy. Like he has healthy food on the set. If if you have to work out and get in intense shape, he's there with you.
That's jealousy,
exactly. I think that's what it is a little bit almost. It's just very strange. The stigma that can be on him a little bit, but then you hear people that work with him, and then you hear James Cameron talk about how he created a cinematic language, especially with 300, and everybody copies 300. If you have a movie that has swords and shields and big buff dudes, they're gonna do the slow motion, speeded up slow motion thing, and that's something that he created. That's his signature move right there, and everybody fucking copies that now. And it's just, that's why when you get dragged through the mud like that, it's really dumb. But
some things are just big influential, like 300 to big influential.
Oh yeah,
it seemed like the Matrix was before it. And Zach, Zach loves the Matrix.
And he absolutely does.
I remember this whole thing, when John compared a shot from Endgame to Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Saying, people say, how dare you say that they've taken people take inspiration from people all the time. That's not a
exactly.
That's
why I kept making fun of it. I know people were getting pissed that I was like, you're mocking. I'm like, no, it's getting ridiculous. Where everybody's saying that this shot is a copy of that shot. It's shot by shot by shot. I'm like, no, these shots have been around. I mean, you go all the way back to the Matrix. They were doing that crap in here, and you could pull it off of there. Some of these shots have been around for a while. It's all about inspiration and
I mean, the Matrix taking stuff from westerns and things, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, and anime.
Yeah,
anime.
Yeah.
Like they were the Wachowskis were really known for. I remember watching behind the scenes a long time ago, and they would show like animes that inspired them, like the way that the agents landed and broke the cement as they landed. Just stuff like that. I mean, they were very inspired by anime.
I think Snyder's definitely taken that and run with it a bit. That's some of the things in those movies. The fight between Neo and Agent Smith in Revolutions. Not the film. Geez. I didn't like the film, but that fight. I posted it the other day on Twitter because you watch it now and you think, oh shit, it's Batman v Superman. Oh shit! It
pretty much is. They run at each other. And then all of a sudden they're up in the air. Yeah. And I remember thinking, like right after, I remember me and my friends were walking out of that movie. I mean, that was in 2003, and we're like, okay, where's the Superman movie now? They just totally showed you how to do a Superman movie. Yeah. Where's the new Superman movie?
I remember thinking that.
And sadly, we didn't get that with Superman Returns. All we got was Superman just lifting up an island into the sky, and that was it. And then finally, Zach comes along and goes, hey, I'm going to give you that Superman movie that you've been wanting since the Matrix Revolutions, where you're going to see some people fucking pound it out in the sky. And he did.
Was it Matrix Reloaded, the second one? I remember seeing that in the cinema and fuck me. I mean, it was after I saw that film, me and my best friend at the time, we went and sat on the wall for about 3 hours just smoking cigarettes and talking about what the fuck was all that? And that shot where Neo, does he flies, doesn't he? Flies in and and drags Morpheus off the top of that truck.
Yeah, and
I
the
mean,
Keymaster,
fuck
yeah.
me. I mean, that was... now it looks pretty
Beautiful.
tame now, really, but...
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah. I
Christ,
mean,
at the
you could.
time.
It kind of like it's aged a little bit.
Yeah,
But I remember seeing that shot in the movie theater, and everybody fucking
Yeah,
cheered,
unbelievable.
because it was just like it was basically they upgraded the whole bullet time to 2 trucks colliding into each other on a busy freeway, and explosions happening, 2 people flying on top of it, and then somebody just swooping in and grabbing him, and it was just like holy shit.
That kind of turbulent displace effect on the truck. The other trucks were kind of...
Oh yeah, it was just like kink, kink,
Yeah,
kink, kink,
oh, so
kink,
cool,
kink.
man.
Oh my god,
That's so Matrix, isn't it? And
Oh,
Zack
it's
uses
big
that
time.
in Man of Steel a fair bit. If you slow it right down, whenever someone does something that's super powered fast and they take off,
Oh yeah.
there's a kind of a small sonic boom, which is
Yeah.
And if you slow it right down, it looks a bit like those kind of bubbles you see in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's all good
that's
stuff,
pretty
man.
awesome.
It's all good stuff.
Yeah, it's all inspiration. But hey, you got some questions. You sent out a
shit.
tweet. Yeah, you sent out a tweet
did
about
actually, isn't
that
it?
you were going to be chatting. Yeah, and you got some people that are asking some questions. So how about I just read them off?
Yeah, see what you got.
And then you can answer them for us. So David Wellens, David Wellens 07, he asks, will the deleted unfinished scenes that have been reproposed be put back in their original place as Zack envisioned his story, or did you take some creative liberties?
Well, I've taken creative liberties.
Oh, of course, because you don't know how they were supposed to be.
Which scenes are we talking about? The VFX?
I don't know.
Real
I
scenes?
think he just says deleted unfinished. So maybe he's talking about maybe the cyborg scene on the rooftop, you know, because that's got some unfinished visual effects.
Yeah. I mean, the cyborg stuff, there's a certain amount of those... I forgot of Skype. Oh, there we go. A certain amount of those shots that I can actually work with. That's been a huge thing. That's gone on... That cyborg... those 2 shots you saw in the trailer took like 6 months for me to actually work. There's been guys on... And I'm really sorry that I don't know the names. There's been guys who've been going back and forth with me months ago trying to get rid of the watermark and things like that. And I did ask that Ascended Ancient guy, and he's just not interested. He just likes to have his name on things.
You contacted him, huh?
Well, he's on Twitter, isn't he? I don't know if it's actually him though.
Yeah, probably not.
Nah, probably not. But some guys are trying to help. But it did turn out having to be a case of using an absolute ton of different techniques to do that. But the ones that I've got barely any effects on whatsoever, not really usable. So I've had to use other shots from other places in the movie.
And speaking of like the Matrix shots that we're talking about with like the, I mean, obviously when we saw that deleted Barry Allen shot when he rescues Iris from the car accident, I mean, you actually, when he pushes through the glass, first off, gorgeous shot, but even when he like moves, I guess the road kind of just like ripples as he's going. So I mean,
yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because we don't really see that happen in any other point in the movie. His foot causing some destruction.
Exactly, causing
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And someone said to me his shoes kind of burned off to do with him. I honestly have no idea. That would make sense though if his shoes burned off because he was.
Oh yeah, of course.
Imbued with the speed force.
I think he's actually barefoot in that scene. Yeah, I think he's barefoot, and so.
Have you ever seen? By the way, any behind the Flash TV show?
Yeah.
The behind the scenes stuff when they started doing that, when they did the other speedsters kind of started showing up in the Grant Gustin had to teach them how to do the Flash stop. That's pretty cool. That's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Ezra Miller does that exact Flash stop in the some of the behind the scenes stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it looks so stupid when they do it.
It does. It's just like
stop.
Because you basically have to jump and just kind of pretend like you're just coming. Yeah,
but I'm going to give Grant Gustin
it's a talent.
Because Grant Gustin nails that. And so does Ezra. So I wonder if he talked to him. But I bet he did. I bet he called.
Oh, I'm sure they exchanged notes.
And the Flash TV show used to be amazing. I don't care what.
Oh yeah, it did. Oh yeah, it started off first couple seasons, then that kind of fell off. But I haven't watched like the last 2 or 3 seasons to be honest. Same with Arrow.
2 seasons ago, I think.
Okay, we got Truth, Love, Faith.
Yeah,
she asked. Yeah.
She's in the movie.
She's in the movie. That's right. I heard like you have her in the movie. Any idea what she plays? No, you don't have to tell us. Any new audio visual software or tools you could use that would help with production? That's what she asked. And then what are your other current or future projects?
She is trying to get people to give me money again, isn't she?
And where can people donate to help support your work? Of course she is.
Thanks, Audrey. In terms of new stuff, yeah, there's always new stuff. I mean, my laptop can only handle so much. It's really struggling, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't believe you're actually using just a laptop.
Yeah, I've had to upgrade things. I mean, I upgraded my RAM, I upgraded my hard drive.
Yeah, you have to with this stuff.
Drive. So I've got the best I can get out of this laptop. But I can probably get some more software running, but who knows what. Maybe some 3D stuff. There's very little 3D stuff I'm actually working with. Some of the more difficult things feature a lot of 3D elements, but a lot of it's 2D. So maybe there'll be some more 3D stuff to come to work with. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for that.
When I saw your picture and you were just like doing it on a laptop, I'm like, holy crap, that thing's gonna blow up. Because even like my little MacBook that I'll edit sometimes on it when I don't feel like sitting at my iMac. That thing just as it's rendering something, it'll just start. That fan just kicks on and it starts getting hot. Yeah. So you must be trying to keep that. You must be putting ice packs.
Cleaner. That's my tip.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
There you go.
There's a few things like that. Go
on. Lindsay Staten, she asked, how much Whedon footage did you have to use? Ooh. Well, of course you have to use a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no avoiding it.
No. How much? I don't know. I think I've cut. I mean, when the fan edits started coming out, when Justice League was released on digital.
Yeah.
I know that one of the cuts someone did just took out all of the Joss stuff to see what was left, and I don't think there was. That is quite a lot of footage. So some of that is still going to be in, but no, none of the stupid things are going to be in. None of the pratfalls. I mean, excuse me. All of these things that people hate, I've taken out. I took them out months ago. Flash fall on Wonder Woman's boobs, whatever. It's gone. Don't worry. Brunch.
That old chestnut.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
The brunch thing, by the way, in the cinema, when I saw it on opening day, people did laugh at some of these jokes. And I think I laughed at something. I can't think of what it was. But maybe you smell good. I thought that was all right. The brunch thing, fuck me. That was the most awkward I've ever felt in the cinema. That was fucking weird. That thing, it was kind of
when he just starts going off on a brunch rant, and then it's so obvious that it's a reshot scene because his hair literally looks different.
It looks weird.
The lighting looks different. Everything just looks different about that shot. And I'm like, ugh.
There's no punchline.
Why?
There's no punchline.
Yeah.
It's like they've written a joke and there's no punchline of the joke. I honestly,
he just sounds like a bumbling idiot, And I'm like, what were you guys? You guys really are trying to turn him into MCU or like MCU Spider-Man almost,
Yes,
I think that's what they're kind of going for.
That's the problem with it, actually. Not talking about Whedon footage, is it's difficult for certain characters, particularly Cyborg and Barry. There's not that much footage I've got.
Oh, I know, because they were just totally removed.
Yeah. Especially
what we've been seeing lately, with what Snyder's been posting. Obviously, the Silas Stone shot. I mean, Jesus, that would have been a nice. I mean, obviously, I made the joke that Zack Snyder rips off Zack Snyder because it has a Watchmen vibe, but I don't know. We don't know what the context of that scene is. Obviously, it has something to do with the mother box getting going, and it just kind of rips them apart. And
no idea,
man. That's
no
idea.
Be
a heart-wrenching.
I mean, that's got to be to do with the Star Labs.
Oh yeah,
fight.
That's totally That's which was. See, some people I think got to realize when we got a 2-hour Justice League movie, and then people go, man, there's like an hour and a half of Zack Snyder stuff. I'm like, no, there's way more than an hour and a half of stuff because you gotta take in that there's Whedon shots. If you remove all the Whedon shots, I mean, you're talking about 2 hours maybe of 2 hours, maybe an hour or 2 hours and 15 minutes of Zack Snyder stuff that we have not seen. A whole movie. We haven't seen a whole complete entire movie for Zack's cut.
Yeah, that's the thing about people. Some people ask me. A lot of people ask me about the runtime of the Black Suit edition.
Yeah.
Is it going to be much longer? I don't think it's going to be much longer because once I've got rid of all the Whedon stuff, that cuts out.
Cuts it down.
I mean, A-List, Andrew did a fan edit, and I think that was like an hour and a half.
It's like about a half an hour footage that they have added in there.
So the stuff, I'm adding a lot of stuff, taking a lot of stuff out. So I don't think it's not going to be 3.5 hours or anything stupid.
Damn it!
It'll probably be a bit longer. And there is some stuff that happens maybe more than once. Who knows? There's some strange stuff going on. I'll give you some more teasers.
I like to be teased.
Yeah, actually, I wrote down a tiny little list of things that we have to talk about.
I
think we've talked about most of them. Oh yeah,
that's good.
I've just written down Darkseid. Oh yeah, Darkseid. because I listened to your podcast with Stephen,
Yeah.
which is very nice. You talked about the Black Suit Edition for ages on that. I thought it was.
Oh yeah,
I was
we
very
talked about it
flattered,
for a
very
bit.
flattered,
Yeah.
But you talked about Dark Side. There's one thing that I want to temper expectations on, and that is Dark Side, because you guys were talking about have I managed to change Steppenwolf into Dark Side? No.
Yeah,
I
we
haven't
were
changed
wondering if you
Steppenwolf into
mapped it.
Darkseid.
Yeah.
No, I haven't
You
done
didn't do that, right? Yeah.
I don't think that would necessarily. I mean, maybe that would work
No.
somehow, but not for me.
Yeah, we were
Darkseid's
just wondering,
presence.
were you just gonna map Darkseid over
No.
Steppenwolf somehow? We were trying to wonder because that ending shot where the truck gets launched over to him. I'm like, is that Darkseid doing that? And then we see the Omega beams of Flash, and we're like, is he gonna do this? Is he gonna pull this off? We were like racking our brains about it.
But to Darkseid's very much a presence.
Small appearance.
It's not. It's more than small appearance.
Oh,
It's not.
Oh, okay.
In
There
terms
you
of
go.
actually
You
seeing
got
him
something out of
and
it.
his thing, his presence is. Something with an example I can compare it to, of someone who's just controlling everything that's going on and seeing everything.
Gotcha.
And is involved. And I know that some people have made some really, really cool. What do you call them? Flashback, cyborg, vision type. A thing of cyborg puts his hand into the thing and then the vision. There'll be some stuff like that. Darkseid involved. Okay. But it'll be more a presence. And I think you've seen a bit of that in the sun shot of Superman in the sun, and then Darkseid's face appears.
Yes.
Expect stuff like that. And dream sequences.
Makes
Lots
sense.
of dream sequences, which I think you're going to really like. And you saw a little bit of that in the trailer. Dream sequence.
Yeah, definitely did. All right, we got Brian Cowley. He asks, have you run into any claims of stolen footage, much like Garza and the deleted Aquaman footage? I guess, have you run into any
John's
claims
job.
Yeah.
I've got the same footage as everyone else.
Yeah, so you're pretty much just pulling from where he's pulling. Cowley also asks, understanding that you are probably kept to confidentiality, but has this turned into anything being offered, even a small scale from Hollywood?
No.
Has Hollywood knocked on your door? They should, damn it.
That's another thing. A lot of people, I'm very, very flattered. People think that Zach is going to call me up and say, "Hey, Chris, why don't you come and make my next movie?" That's not going to happen. Forget about that. He's busy.
You never know.
I know.
You never know.
Honestly, I'm not on Vero. I mean, I joined Vero, but I never used it. I don't expect Zack Snyder to take any notice of this.
Oh, he will.
Well,
somebody's going to post it on Vero. I think he already has. I think he's liked somebody posting it on Vero, so he knows it exists. Yeah. And then Mr. Cowley, man, just asking all questions. Yeah, he said, when editing the film, I'm sure you had to use some Whedon footage and some Snyder footage. Mm-hmm. Were there any challenges? And we pretty much already talked about that. So,
just color correction. That's all.
Yeah, just color correction. Yeah,
I mean, I've said this before. My conspiracy was that the guys, whoever was doing the color grading, left the Whedon footage looking horrendous on purpose because it
looked like shit.
I mean, I'm not a professional. Making some of those that Aquaman stuff where he's standing in the water, he looks completely different. Making that look a little bit closer to what to the shot before is very, very easy for anyone on like an iMovie could do that. So it's not.
Well, I mean, like even when they have a close up of Batman's face when he's in the whatchamacallit, I'm like totally drawing a blank, but his skin almost looks like the contrast on his skin just looks off.
Yeah, the skin's
and it's
weird.
It's just like it's just so ugly.
It's because they got so many different people in to do it. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, you just gotta wonder. Like so many eyes look at this. It's like, are you guys just trying to fuck it up on purpose? And you gotta wonder. Maybe they were. Of course. Okay. Johnny asked total runtime. I already talked about that. Mm-hmm. Claytalian. He has a nice little wink, James Franco wink. Obviously, he's not serious about this. But he said, "Is Zack Snyder secretly giving you scenes from his cut to finish?"
I wish.
That'd be awesome. I know, right? Raphael, yes. Yeah. Is anyone else involved when it comes to adding subs for other countries? Because I already offered myself for the Brazilian Portuguese version, and I got a new great editing program to make it from scratch if you send me the movie.
Yep.
Ooh, so you got that going?
No, I'm just saying, that's you're on the team, Raphael. Join the team.
Okay.
That's people have asked about subs, and that's not something I ever thought. I never thought it would be so popular. People would actually want to see it. They want sub. But yes,
dude,
and English as well, because a couple of people have asked me about people.
Dude, you gotta realize that it was a very surreal thing to go to the Snyder event, and not only were there fans of Snyder there, but there was a ton of fans of mine there, and just to have everybody just going, hey, film junkie, and hey, love your videos, take a picture with me. Very surreal, because I've never had that, that kind of, I guess, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But we talked about your Black Suit Edition. Everybody knows about your Black Suit Edition. I mean, I don't think anybody that was there, they knew about your Black Suit Edition. And these are people that were flown halfway around the world for that thing. So it's like you got people in America, you got people all over the place that know about
I love working with, when I'm working with Geraldo. That the music you heard in the trailer, by the way, the second half of the trailer, there's that music which is the Hope Never Dies motion poster music, which Geraldo. I messaged Geraldo saying, can you remake this? Because a lot of people have tried to take the Lois Lane monologue off the music so they can actually hear the music.
Yeah,
it sounds terrible, obviously, because it's work that easily. So I messaged Geraldo, can you remake this? And we went back and forth. I've got to say, if Geraldo's listening, I don't know if he does, but he is. If he wants to be a major Hollywood composer, he could do that. Absolutely,
easily do it. He's 100, that good, huh?
Absolutely 100%. I mean, he should be doing it now. So I don't know how old he is, but he could be doing that. Absolutely. And if I ever make a movie, he's my man. Straight in.
There you go.
He's unbelievable.
Right there. You already got a job there, Gerald.
He's amazing.
Eric M. Blake, he asks, so you have new cast members, including our beloved Truth, Love, Faith. Can you give us any hints as to who they might be playing? And, of course, she answers saying she's sworn to secrecy. So.
Sure. I'm looking down these questions. Let me have a look. What did
Eric M. Blake.
I've got to see it. I mean, Ben's playing Darkseid. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
I am voicing someone.
Ooh.
Me or...
Is it Zod?
No, me or possibly another British person, if I can find the right person, is doing a little bit extra stuff. And I'm going to have to find someone to do another voice, potentially. A very specific type of person, so I might have to put out a feeler for that at some point. So if anyone's interested in helping... Same thing with the subtitles. Anyone who is bilingual, who could potentially put together a subtitle track, and it'll probably be a lot of work, and I won't be able to pay you for it. This will be a labour of love. Get in touch with me, please, and we'll sort that out. And watch the movie first, obviously. Watch the movie first.
Mr. Dawson, bringing the world together, man.
That's the plan. So what was the question? Sorry, it was to do with who they're playing. Ben
he just wanted to know who Truth, Love, Faith was playing, and she said she's sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, she's sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
You'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, we'll find out soon. You don't need to blow that lid up. Let's see. At Vortex Vision, will there be a Blu-ray released?
No, it'll be in
digital
Blu-ray.
file.
It'll be digital. There'll probably be two versions, I think. I think there'll be a version which you'll be able to...
An ultimate cut?
Ultimate in terms of quality, yeah. Because I said before the second trailer, I said that this would be the first time you see what the film looks like, because this is the first time I've actually encoded it using my... what I call the Black Suit Edition Max settings, which are my presets, which are going to be the really high bitrate version of the edit. That'll be Blu-ray quality. You'll be able to put that on a Blu-ray. It'll be about 20 gig, maybe a bit bigger. And then there'll be a version that you can watch online, probably, I'm sure.
Cool.
I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. I'm really not sure how we're going to do it, but it will be. I'll find a way. It'll be out there. You'll be able to watch it. Don't worry.
Cool.
But make your own Blu-rays, guys. Ramesh is going to do some Blu-ray art, and someone's going to write. I'm going to do a synopsis for the back of the box.
Nice.
So it's all going to be cool. Don't worry about that.
Nice. Awesome stuff. Art Barrios, I guess. Barrilas? I don't know. I'm bad at names. When, damn it? When will it be completed? Joking. Any particular time frame will be awesome. Well, if you watch the end of the trailer there, Art, it says August 30th.
August 30th. That's the date.
Yeah. So that's don't no guarantees.
Hold on.
No guarantees.
I'm looking at these replies as well.
Yeah.
Loads of fucking replies, man. I thought we were going to get like 3 questions.
I don't know, man. Like I told you, dude, people are excited for this. You don't know because I mean everybody was cool, like, oh yeah, the fan edits are cool, but you are doing something completely different than a fan edit, you know.
Oh, it's Dr. Chris coming in with his how many millions of dollars did doing all the VFX cost? 40.
Yes, I know this is 40 there, Chris. You've heard that number. You knew he was gonna say.
He gets a lot.
Say that.
He gets a lot of shit. He's alright.
Yeah, well, so do we.
No, everyone does. Dr. Chris.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something about Dr. Chris, because me and him, he's probably the person that I talk to the most in DMs, and he's absolutely lovely. A very lovely guy, extremely passionate about these things. Maybe too passionate sometimes. That's all I'll say about it. But very passionate. So if anyone, if you think that he's, being toxic or whatever, listen, some people just express themselves in a more passionate way. And, that is nice.
If you want to call it passion, I mean, I get it. We used to. I mean, there's a point in time where I've talked to him through DMs, and then it just at one point it got, I don't know, it got bad, and then it got okay again, and then I'm not afraid to if I've seen him in the mentions, and if he said something that I thought, oh yeah, that's good, I'll hit the like button. He liked my release the Snyder Cut Casual Batman video, so I can get along with him. It's just sometimes it's like, especially when I see
he cut together that video. I mean, he does
work
for the thing.
No, he does do a lot of work, and I think that's awesome. It's just when I see people complaining about the Snyder Cut people, and him and a couple of other familiar faces are always the screenshots used. That's where I kind of go, this is where you gotta like just bring it down a main just a little bit. You don't have to go. You don't have to go like full on crazy on everybody that disagrees or whatnot. No. But I know the visual effects thing that's gonna be a debate back and forth.
It's the new one, isn't it? It's a new debate.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's been around forever. I mean, and it's funny because even Fiona last year said that the VFX were only 80% done. And that's what I was told from my guy, and my guy has seen the movie. It's just, and people are not going to believe it because it's my source. I'm not going to argue with anybody. You want to believe me? You don't. I think some of the stuff that I've said that he's told me that's been confirmed should give some validation, but people are still going to push back on it, so it's like, hey, it's whatever. As long as some
people know things, some people don't know things, some people know the things.
Exactly.
It's just,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
I don't think, to me, the arguments are just, I don't find anything as boring. Boring is arguments.
Well, I got tired of. I mean, I know now I just kind of engage with the people that are putting out information that they're scooping. I'll talk to those guys and just kind of go back and forth and be like, you got to stop doing this because it's just not true, and you're riling people up, and then they're going to get it. Because what happened last year at Comic-Con when we thought that, people thought that Zach was going to be there, and then he wasn't. I heard that he wasn't from the get-go, and then it just was kind of like a war zone for a bit there. And that's why I don't want people to get false hope about a lot of things anymore. And I think a lot of people, for the most part, especially the people running the campaigns, they're not doing that. They're just going, hey, we're going to do this. We're not expecting him to be there, but we're going to be there. We're going to have boots on the ground. And I'm like, yes, do that. Positivity. There you go. That's what I like there, guys.
You got Louis, who's very positive.
Yeah. Yeah, he very much is. You know what? And I've said it before. I even said it. I probably said it on a podcast. I'm not saying that he's lying. I just think he's just being fed. Somebody's either playing with him, and he's just being fed. You got to vet these people. If you're getting a DM that's somebody's claiming they're a source from, and I said it before about my guy. When I got emails from this guy, this wasn't on a DM, wasn't in Facebook Messenger. It was flat out email, and that's where we still communicate. I vetted him for about a month. I thought he was pure bullshit. I thought, this is some MCU fanboy trying to get under my skin, And then eventually he went, and he was telling me stuff, and it was going, man, this guy sounds really educated, and he's telling me some stuff that sounds pretty legit, but I just don't know. I'm not believing it. Why would they contact me? I was just, low self-esteem with me. Like, why would he contact me? And it was only until he asked me for my Vero, and 20 minutes later, Zack Snyder requested a connection. And I went, okay, you're good. So, yeah, that's what really did it for him.
Your source, Stephen, I don't know if it's the same guy. Is it the same guy you? Well,
no, it's not the same. Well, I've shared information with Stephen from my source, but when it comes to like the recent thing, no, that's not my guy. The reason The recent thing that he had with the whole McKinless thing and some of the other stuff has not been my guy. It's been somebody completely different. I know one of them, but I don't think I know the other. I don't know how many sources he actually has, but when it comes to the stuff that Garza got from AT&T about numbers and stuff, his source I've actually talked to. It's somebody that is legit, 100%. It's just it's actually information that was already out there.
Yeah.
And I know like his article seemed like it was an attack, but to me it wasn't. And I don't know. It's just it just kind of has turned into a big mess with all that. But we're all on the same side here, guys. We just want to see the damn movie.
Yeah, I don't like the arguing. I don't get.
Yeah, that's why I just don't want to engage. I get I started muting people, like certain people that are constantly in my mentions trying to push back, and I just kind of, but I can be very cordial. There's some of the guys that I've had back and forth with that call me out or whatever. Now I just if they've showed up in my mentions, I'll just be cordial and just answer something. I'll like it, but I'm not out there just to try to just
No, I think that
pick a fight.
That Twitter account, the RT Snyder Cut, is really, I think that's helped. I think that's helped a lot.
Oh, that definitely has helped, because I think we're all, we all kind of nodded in agreement that, hey, let's try the positivity thing.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to participate in all the campaigns. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Everybody can, do what you want to do. We'll do what we do. And that's what I've always said from the get-go. It's like, yeah, I didn't participate in the phone call thing, the letter writing thing. I didn't do any of that. But what I kept doing was gathering information and putting a microphone and a camera in my face and getting it out there. And that's what we do. And Steven, he researches. He does his due diligence with journalism and just tries to. In Garza, he's a madman at finding art and footage and everything, And I know, like, some people might not like his ways. Sometimes I go, "Hey, Garza, pump the brakes, buddy. Relax a little bit. You're getting a little antsy."
He's one who I think. Reacts
he's
to
a character.
Trolls. That's what I'd say.
He does. Yeah, he very much likes to engage. Yeah, he does like to engage, and sometimes I'm like, pump the brakes. Yeah. Actually, he might be showing up on the Friday's vodka stream. Oh, cool. Nice. So look forward to that. And if the guy is drinking something too, it might get a little crazy there, folks.
He's passionate
because
Sometimes you want to
he's passionate.
Put an arm around him and say, "Listen, calm down, man.
Calm down, buddy.
Let's just go
it's going to be interesting.
Just calm down.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Let's ask the last question here. I think at Snyder Cut. What is the goal purpose of your edition? Just an original story, or that's all it says, or, and then it stops.
What is the goal? Just to give people a movie to watch, to entertain. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah, there it is.
People think that I'm talking shit there. I know people always think that everyone has an ulterior motive for everything, which is probably sometimes true, but
yeah,
I just want to make a film that people can enjoy. That's all it is. Simple as that.
There you go.
And I really hope that people aren't going to be too attached to the idea of that's not what Zach would have done, because it's not going to be what Zach. I haven't got the footage to do this.
No. Yeah, if anybody says that, fuck them. And I know there's gonna be some guys like that are just like, Zach. And what's sad too is, like, if they actually see the Snyder Cut, they're gonna probably even be disappointed, because there are things that rumored stuff that was in the movie that is not gonna end up being in the movie. It was all just rumors. Not everything that you hear that was cut was going to be in the movie. It's just the way it is. So I think even sometimes those kind of people will be disappointed even to see the Snyder Cut. And they'll even say, well, shit, Snyder, well, wait, Snyder did do that, buddy. So yeah, don't let those guys get to. I think everybody.
It's going to be its own thing. It's going to be an original
it's going to be
thing. It's going to be based on the film you've seen. And it's going to be more connected to the first two. But it says in the trailer, the end, what does it say? Witness the end of the Man of Steel legend
trilogy.
Right? That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the third part of a trilogy, so you'll be able to watch. And when August 30th, I hope that everyone's going to join me, watch Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then we'll watch the Black Suit edition, and it's going to all connect together very nicely in ways you don't expect, with lots of weird shit. There's some really, really, very, very weird shit. I promise that.
That's
Not too
awesome,
weird.
man.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. So yeah, it's going to be very different. It's going to have a lot of. The thing with working with footage that is in these movies anyway, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, is that you can't help but have visual throwbacks. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you can't. I mean, especially when it comes to they always say like when it comes to a trilogy, the third one it always should be a callback to at least the first movie.
Absolutely.
You could see that in The Matrix when he goes and visits the Oracle again, and she mentions the saying above the door when you first showed up, and there's a lot you always that's just like typical. That's like trilogy code or something that you have to do a callback to the first or even the second. And but yeah, Mr. Dawson, you are doing some just fucking fantastic work.
Thank you very much.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for having
you.
me on. It's been fun.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's been a lot of fun. I'll definitely have you on again. Maybe when you release the next clip or something.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
have
the
you back
clips
on
by the
again
way.
and talk
I
about it.
only mentioned the first two, didn't I? There'd be the Cyborg's first flight, Superman's first flight, and getting a suit, and then probably the Heroes Park fight, which has got some different stuff in it. So that's going to be cool. That's one that I think people are going to really like. And if you like the Wonder Woman thing, the Wonder Woman clip in the courthouse. There's blood, and by the way, no one noticed Steppenwolf takes someone's head off in the trailer, which I'm very disappointed about.
I don't think I noticed it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that frame by frame.
That took about a day's work to get that guy's head to come off.
I can imagine, man. I mean, like I said, you were doing the Lord's work, and I think we all appreciate it, and we're all very much looking forward to the clips. I would say when you release the second clip in July, you should probably do it right around Comic-Con time. I think that'd be a perfect time to release it. I think that weekend where the big panels happen, and especially since everybody's going to be boots on the ground trying to promote the Snyder Cut, probably be a good time. Yeah, just a suggestion. Just saying.
I'll just put it out whenever it's ready.
Maybe. Okay, well there you go. Or just do that, or just shoot down
screen.
my idea. Whatever.
I'm more excited for people to see the thing than people are.
Okay.
I promise.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Anytime that I've done something creative, you just get that antsy feeling that you get a rush. I wish more people would actually realize how, I do my normal videos. I don't really get that much of a rush unless I do something like really like, oh, people are gonna laugh their asses off at this. But anytime I do something different, like when I brought Casual Batman back to do the Release the Snyder Cut video, I got that old feeling of, oh shit, let's see how people react, and I got a ton of positive feedback, and people were cracking up, and that's just a good feeling to have. And even when I released that Christopher Nolan trailer, I was very antsy to get people's reactions to that. So I totally understand what you're saying. There's just like a high that you get when you've been working on something really hard and you just really want to get it out there for people to enjoy, and we're gonna enjoy it.
Hope so.
We definitely
That's
are.
why I do the GIFs and the. I'm trying not to do so many GIFs because they're so small. I have to condense everything into little 360p.
Yeah, to make it look good. Just for that.
But
anyways,
don't worry.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Mr. Dawson, and keep doing what you're doing. And
So you're
we'll
going to talk
you
about
on
the
again.
movies now, eh?
What's up?
You got the rest of your podcast to do, haven't you?
No, I don't. No, I'm going to end the podcast right now. We've been talking for an hour. Yeah, hour and 22 minutes.
Mentioned Godzilla or anything?
Oh no, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh shit.
Have you seen it?
No, I know.
You haven't seen it?
I saw Sam had seen it, and he's
yeah. Oh, he's totally buzzing. He's totally buzzing. He says the post-credit scene blew his mind.
Yeah,
like he said, it was the best post-credit scene he's seen. I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah. And I almost tried to squeeze it out of him a little bit. I was all, well, it's just teasing Kong, right? Apparently, it's not just that. So,
I'm looking forward to
and
that.
he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me. So I was like, yeah, don't tell me. I'm going to see it tomorrow. So
the only thing that put me off that film is that the thing that they're using in all of the promo footage, which is the guy saying, "Oh my god!" And the other guy goes,
"Oh, I know, yeah, that was, I know exactly the part you're talking about. I thought that was also cheese too.
Such cheese.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's call it there. I watched Shazam quite recently. Didn't like that. Actually, no, I liked the first hour of Shazam. Like the first.
Oh, okay.
And like the last half an hour of Aquaman, and the first hour of Shazam. That's me.
Okay.
If anyone wants to know
it's
what I
not
think
for
about
everybody.
these DCU films, I know people think either love the Snyder stuff and hate everything else,
or you
love
don't,
it all, or you don't love it, whatever.
Yeah, we all have different tastes. It's all subjective. It's just when people go out of their way to just completely shit on either new or even like the people that love love Aquaman and Shazam and completely shit on Snyder.
People love it, they love it, man. Just let them.
Yeah, exactly. Just let people enjoy what they enjoy, and it's whatever. It's all subjective, guys. Not all. Anyway, whatever. I am ripping off someone else's line there. Anyways, Mr. Dawson, thanks for coming on, and thanks everybody for clicking in. Go ahead and promote yourself, Dawson. Where are you at in Twitter and stuff?
See Dawson Author on Twitter. I think everyone knows where. If you're listening to this, you probably know where I am, don't you?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah, but you never know.
And I was thinking about posting something while we were doing this, but I don't think I will. I think it's too spoilery. There's too many spoilers.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't spoil it too much.
I posted a picture of a worm coming out of a hole yesterday, so that's your tease for this week.
Oh,
a wormhole.
There you go.
Pretty obvious.
I think. Obviously, we know what you're talking about. You dirty bastard.
If you've seen, if you're a Chris Nolan fan and you think of wormholes, you know what I'm talking about. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right, and like always, guys, you could links are down below to follow me. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Patreon if you want to help out the pirate ship. Shirts and stickers down below, guys. And make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and that like button if you so please. And then, of course, you can also stream and download this podcast episode on SoundCloud. It'll be provided down below as well. All right, guys. It's been fun.
Love you
We'll
all.
talk to you later.